level up quietly, outgrow excuses. Welcome to RiseDaily. Let's rise. Most people think discipline is a prison. They imagine strict routines, early alarms, saying no to fun, and living a life that feels rigid and exhausting. So they avoid it. They chase comfort instead. But here's the strange truth no one tells you. Comfort is the real prison. And discipline? Discipline is the key that unlocks freedom. Because the people who look the most free in life, the ones with control of their time, money, health, and future, are almost always the most disciplined people in the room. So the real question is this: what if discipline isn't restricting your life? What if it's the thing that finally gives you one? By the end of this video, you'll understand why discipline actually reduces stress, why successful people rely on it instead of motivation, the hidden freedom most people never unlock, and the simple shift that makes discipline feel powerful instead of painful. Because once you understand this one truth, you will never see discipline the same way again. The lie about freedom. We grow up believing freedom means doing what we want, whenever we want, however we want, sleep late, skip the gym, scroll endlessly, eat whatever feels good, avoid the difficult work. At first, that kind of life feels amazing. No pressure, no structure, no rules. But something strange begins to happen. Days start slipping by, goals stay unfinished, energy drops, confidence fades, and slowly, without realizing it, you lose control of your own life. Because the truth is, a life with no discipline doesn't create freedom. It creates chaos. You feel busy but unproductive. You feel tired but restless. You feel capable but stuck. And deep down, you're meant for more. But comfort keeps pulling you back. This is the trap most people live in. They think they're free, but they're actually controlled by impulse, controlled by distraction, controlled by short-term pleasure. And that's the most dangerous prison of all. Because the bars are invisible. Why discipline feels hard. Discipline feels uncomfortable for one simple reason. Your brain is designed to avoid effort. Thousands of years ago, conserving energy kept humans alive. Food was scarce. Danger was everywhere. So the brain evolved to prefer easy choices, immediate rewards, minimal effort. But the modern world flipped the system. Now comfort is everywhere. Fast food, endless entertainment, instant gratification, social media dopamine. Your brain is constantly being pulled toward the easiest possible option. So when you wake up early, push yourself in the gym, work when you'd rather relax, say no when everyone else says yes, your brain sends a signal. Stop. This is uncomfortable. But discomfort isn't danger. It's growth. And once you understand that, everything changes. Because discipline stops feeling like punishment. It becomes training. Training your mind. Training your habits. Training your future. The discipline paradox. Here's the paradox most people miss. The more discipline you build, the more freedom you gain. Let's break it down. Someone who has no discipline with money feels free spending today, but later they're trapped by debt. Someone who lacks discipline with health feels free skipping workouts, but later they're trapped by illness and fatigue. Someone who avoids disciplined work feels free procrastinating, but later they're trapped in a life they didn't choose. Comfort now creates restriction later, but discipline works in reverse. Short-term effort creates long-term freedom. The discipline to save money creates financial freedom. The discipline to exercise creates physical freedom. The discipline to work consistently creates career freedom. Every disciplined choice is like investing in your future self. And over time, the return becomes massive. Why motivation isn't enough. Most people wait for motivation. They say things like, "I'll start when I feel ready. I just need the right mindset. I'll do it when I'm inspired." But motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you feel exhausted. If your progress depends on motivation, your results will always be inconsistent. This is where disciplined people are different. They don't ask, "Do I feel like doing this today?" They ask, "Is this who I decided to be?" Because discipline isn't about emotions. It's about identity. A disciplined person doesn't rely on mood. They rely on standards. Standards they refuse to break, even on the days when motivation disappears. Especially on those days. The moment everything changes. There's a moment in every disciplined person's journey where something clicks. It usually happens quietly, after weeks or months of doing the hard thing. You wake up one day and realize life feels different. Your energy is higher. Your mind is clearer. Your confidence is stronger. You trust yourself more. Because every disciplined action sends your brain a powerful signal. I keep my promises to myself. And self-trust changes everything. When you trust yourself, you stop doubting your potential. You stop quitting halfway. You stop settling. And suddenly the things that once felt impossible start feeling inevitable. The power of small discipline. Many people think discipline requires extreme effort. But the truth is, small discipline practice daily is unstoppable. One workout, one focused hour, one healthy meal, one extra page read, one task completed. These actions seem small, but repetition transforms them into momentum. Think about it like compound interest. A tiny improvement every day creates massive change over time, but inconsistency resets the progress. That's why disciplined people focus on consistency over intensity. Not perfection, not huge bursts of effort, just showing up every single day. The secret most people miss. The most disciplined people don't rely on willpower alone. They design systems. Systems make discipline easier. For example, if you want to read more, leave a book on your pillow. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to focus, remove distractions from your environment. Systems reduce decision fatigue. And when decisions are easier, consistency becomes natural. Discipline becomes automatic. Your environment starts working for you instead of against you. The freedom discipline creates. Imagine waking up each day knowing your health is strong, your finances are stable, your goals are progressing, your mind is focused, your habits are aligned with your future. That kind of life doesn't happen randomly. It's built through disciplined choices, and the result is powerful. Less stress, more control, more confidence, more options. That's real freedom. Not the freedom to do anything in the moment, but the freedom to design your life. Why most people quit. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they quit too early. The beginning of discipline feels slow. Progress feels invisible. Results feel distant. And that's when people stop. But what they don't realize is this. The breakthrough is often just beyond the point where most people give up. The person who continues, who stays consistent, who keeps showing up, eventually separates themselves from the crowd, not through talent, but through persistence. The discipline identity. At some point, discipline stops being something you do. It becomes who you are. You become the person who keeps promises, shows up, follows through, finishes what they start. And when discipline becomes identity, life becomes simpler. Because the question is no longer, should I do this? The answer becomes automatic. This is what I do. The truth about freedom. At the beginning, discipline feels like restriction. You say no to comfort, no to shortcuts, no to distraction. But something powerful happens over time. Those small discipline choices start building a life that feels bigger, stronger, more stable, more intentional. And one day you look around and realize you're not trapped anymore. You're not reacting to life. You're directing it. Because discipline didn't take away your freedom. It created it. Freedom from regret. Freedom from chaos. Freedom from a life you never meant to live. And the best part? You don't need perfect discipline. You just need to start. One decision, one action, one promise kept. Today, because every disciplined step you take is another step toward the life you deserve. And the life you deserve is waiting on the other side of discipline. Discipline equals freedom. Grow quietly. Rise daily.